All right, guys, I think I found the deal of the century. 15 decks for $50. It looks like the lady is going overseas and then she's getting rid of the whole collection. Super excited. We just confirmed the time and where we're going to meet. And this time I'm taking my bag with me so I don't have to carry all that in some random paper bag. So I will see you shortly. All right, and I am back. I'm glad I took this canvas bag with me because it's heavy. I've got some really cool decks here, and we're gonna look at them just in a second. I'm gonna take my jacket and everything else, but it looks amazing. And funny enough, I actually got one of those decks for the cat video you probably already saw, and I got it now included in this. Also, it only cost me $25 instead of $50. Which I found very surprising, but there is a catch. So let's have a look at these decks together. I haven't looked at them yet, and I'll tell you exactly what happened. All right, I counted 15 decks while I was traveling, so let's have a look what we actually have here. I know it's a mix of Oracle and Tarot decks, so it's gonna be interesting. Archangel Michael Oracle cards. That looks pretty interesting. Okay, quite like this deck. Oh, so this is the back of the card, gilded on the side. Now I can see the deck has been used a fair bit because the gilding worn out a little. But overall, looks pretty good. Okay, it's another Oracle deck from Kyle Gray. It's Angel Guide. Very similar. I wouldn't be surprised if it's both Hay House produced decks. It's a nice guidebook. It's a very ethereal like. I do like this one. Yeah, very nice. What are your thoughts on this one? What's next? Right, so we already know this deck. I just published the video on cats and just want to have a look what condition it's in. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I don't think it's been used that heavily. I did ask the girl if any of the cards are missing, and she told me no, it's all intact. But the cards worn out a little bit, and I'll show you in a second. Got a couple of cat decks here as well, and I don't think the actual tarot decks, they're more like well, that's really cool. It's got a little altar, look at that. And it's got biblical, oh, that one had a quote from the Bible, and these ones don't. I think they're just like quotes from famous people by the looks of it. Look at that cute guy there. If you're not a cat lover, I guess maybe it's not something that resonates with you, but it makes me pretty happy. Quite like this one. I'm not sure what my experience is going to be, but I'm willing to give it a try. All right, what's next? Oh, look at that one. Astrology reading cards. That looks really cool. So this looks very serious. It's got a magnetic clip here. The personal guidance. Nice book. Oh, okay, so it's based on the constellations and the house of gods, a plus. Yeah, zodiac signs here as well, and planets. The quality of work is quite nice too. These are glossy finish cards. They're quite big as well. So we've got a couple of more here. We got another deck from Kyle Gray, which goes together with this one. I think, I don't know if it's faded a little bit or it's actually designed, and it looks to me like another Oracle deck, also related to angels. Yeah, I think it's a design because the face looks a little bit sort of faded, but I think it's just the way it looks. I like that the meanings of the cards are written here, so it saves you time going into the guidebook. Next one up, Doreen Virtue. This looks really good. It's not embossed, but almost feels like it is. Angel Therapy, Doreen Virtue. I know nothing about any of these decks, by the way. That's why I quite like this. This is embossed print. Quite like this whole because none of them were familiar for me outside of cats and a couple of decks that I saw online, and I was going to buy them, but I'll show you in a second what they are. It's probably some famous name, but because I'm not a specialist in Oracle decks, I've got no idea about what they are. This deck, by the way, looks pretty nice. Look at the gilding here as well. And you may be asking me, why are you, Jay, getting all these decks? Well, first of all, I like surprises. And if you get a hole like this, you got a whole bunch of things in there and something I've never experienced. And as I already learned from talking to you, that everyone's experience with tarot is different. And because of that, I'm often operating in my own sort of silo. And it's quite good to be exposed to what other people are into, and getting 15 decks like this, I think it's a great way to introduce yourself to someone else's taste, preferences. Look at that one. So I think it's an Oracle deck. I don't really know what it is. I saw it in the bag while I was driving back, and I was thinking, that does look like an Oracle deck. Right. I honestly have no idea what this is. So, okay, so Cat Guru's cards offer advice drawn from 3 key elements in the cat's life. Right, so it's got its own suits. Hung for Senate, basic. They look like politicians or famous people or something similar to it. It's quite an interesting synergy between them, and it's quite a playful looking deck. Oh, this one doesn't look to be happy, but quite interesting. I'm going to dive into this one. Curious to know if you have any of these. Feel free to leave me some comments below. Now, this deck I saw on the actual ad, and it got me curious because it looks like a parcel. Yeah, look at that. It's got a bit of a wrap here. Okay, so it's an Oracle deck. Well, the design of these look pretty impressive. Oh, okay, so it's kind of like a leaflet. Right, so Colette is a medium and also been on the TV show. She's actually a star, published in 27 languages. Wow, that is impressive. Okay, so they actually look like postcards. And yeah, that's why you don't need the guidebook. You pretty much have all the answers written here on the back of a card. I have not seen anything like this before. That is interesting. Okay, all right, a couple of more, and I'm saving the ones that I had a quick peek when I was getting home, saving the ones that I really liked until the end, so you're gonna see them last. Angels of Atlantis Oracle cards by Stuart Pearce. Right, so this is a reverse side. Meditation, Michael Enchantment, Gabriel Balance, Michael Patience. Very interesting. Right, this one, I don't know what this one is, and it looks to me that was something that's self-published because there's no name of author or publisher here, and they're just cards with some messages in the back. I don't even know how this was produced. To me, it looks like a small print rather than being a huge publisher that picked this up. And it doesn't say how many cards are there. 56. Okay, now we know. So this is from Hay House and Louis Hay and Robert Holden. To me, these ones look like little coasters. I don't know if that's the intention of this. 52 card deck, and these are probably motivational more than oracle, I would say. Yeah, so this reminds me of, I don't know if you saw them, people often have these little messages somewhere in the house, like in the kitchen, about what they love and how they want to live their lives. Very similar to that. I promised my favorite picks from this bag, and this is the one I quite like. I saw it before and was curious about this deck, and it's in actually pretty good condition. The gilding worn off a little bit, but the cards seem to be all intact. And if I'm not mistaken, this is a Rider-Waite-Smith based deck, and it's got this medieval feel to it. The book is quite thick as well. It's quite nice. And these are the decks I was thinking about actually getting them online. I think the original also quite used. I think they've been probably the owner's favorite, just looking at how worn out this deck is. And if I'm not mistaken, they're both Los Scarabeo decks. They look like they are. Yeah, they are. This one definitely is, and this one as well. I hope YouTube doesn't block video, because some of them I think quite erotic in nature. And this is the Manara one. I also heard of it, and I saw lots of fakes on AliExpress, but you know how I feel about fake decks, so this wasn't gonna happen. But now I got one from a stranger. So that's pretty cool. So now you have seen it, the 15 tarot deck haul for 25 Australian dollars, which I think is like $15 the US, super cheap. I did mention to you there is a catch. Yes, one thing you cannot see or feel on videos is the smell, and these decks definitely have a smell to them. The way I would describe it, they're probably stored very close to incense sticks. So what would you do with a hole like this? And you cannot tell me not to buy decks from a stranger. I know it can be a little bit silly, but for the smell, do you think I should be able to put them out and maybe air them for a little bit and the smell will go away? Or maybe I should just give them away? And this is it for today. If you got something out of it, feel free to subscribe. And if you would like to support what I do, you'll find everything you need in the description. This is Jay with Lunar Code Tarot, and I'll see you in the next one.